Washington mornings on the Mall. 105.9 FM. And AM 630.
WMAL. 8:37. Wilson and Neiman here, and joining us on the phone line. You know him, you love him, you can't live without him. Brett Baer from your Fox News channel, the host of Special Report with Brett Baer. How you doing, Brett?
Morning, guys.
Good to have you on the program, as always. Okay, we've been talking a lot this morning about the president yesterday getting on the phone and lobbying Democratic senators to vote against this Keystone Pipeline amendment. And we were sort of surprised that the president would double down on an energy issue at a time when many Americans are facing $4 or $5 a gallon gas and are concerned about how much it costs to fill up their tanks. Were you surprised that the president doubled down on that?
I was a little bit, and I think some people in Washington were up on Capitol Hill as well. I mean, by making the calls and lobbying Democratic senators to vote against that amendment, essentially the argument that Republicans had forced the White House's hand on to have to turn this down because the environmental study wasn't done, all of that rhetoric that was coming out of the White House podium kind of falls apart if on second run the president's making these calls to Democrats. As it turns out, 11 Democrats went against the president and voted for the amendment. And several of those, as you know, are in tough re-election bids in swing states.
I've been making the case this morning, and Brian's going to roll his eyes because he's tired of me talking.
That's fine.
That the Secretary of Energy in his testimony has shown that he's completely out of touch with the American people. I mean, first there was this thing where he said he doesn't really care if the price of gas goes down or not. That's not what really drives him. He wants to see a more diversified energy supply for this nation. He walked that back because it became an incredibly unpopular thing to say when people are paying a lot for gasoline. And then yesterday he lets it out that, he didn't even own a car. Which to many people who say, well, the guy doesn't understand what I'm going through right now. Do you think that the Secretary of Energy has become a liability for this administration?
Well, clearly he's taking a lot of fire, and clearly it's kind of some of the things he said has been a lightning rod. And in a political time where Republicans are really grasping on to one of the issues where the president is probably most vulnerable, the energy policy, yeah, I think so. I don't know if Secretary Chu will be making too many, speeches when we get towards general election time.
Well, we did find the story that I remembered reading earlier today that says that the Secretary Chu occasionally rides a bike to work. He lives in Chevy Chase, takes him 20 minutes. He's got a Secret Service escort also on a bike, and he often takes his bike to work, which, again, it's fine. It's fine if you want to do that, but it just shows that this is a guy who doesn't live the existence that most people in America live.
But he's healthy.
Yeah, there you go.
He'll outlive you, Wilson.
That's right.